gardeners, welcome to another video on my channel. My name is Trisha for anyone that's new, and in today's video I'm going to be basically telling you guys how to handle geckos. And for those of you that are already aware of how to handle a gecko, you can just see all of my geckos today because it's just going to be a gecko celebration day. So someone recently asked me if I could make a video basically showing how I handle my geckos, because for people that are new to gecko keeping, it's definitely something that you need to practice, and you do need to know certain guidelines to follow, just so that way you aren't putting your gecko in any danger or stressing them out. So I feel like this could help some people out, and it's definitely a video that I wanted to do. However, I am really bad at filming myself while doing things. So anytime you guys want me to show how I do something, I'm not talented. I am a bad YouTuber, guys. I'm so bad at it. So I tried doing this basically, and it was a complete disaster. A lot of my enclosures are really, really high up, and I'm very short, and I literally use a stepladder, and I still can't reach my geckos sometimes, so I wasn't able to get all of them out. And then a lot of them, I can't film myself while doing things, especially with geckos if they're running away or something, because I need both of my hands. So I need to be an octopus. I feel like if I had an extra arm, maybe it would be better, but this video was basically a complete disaster. But I do still want to put it out, even though I just am not good at filming it, because I do think it would help people. And I mean, it's an opportunity for you guys to see my geckos, even though they ran away from me, pooped on me, and hid from me, and I never even got to see some of them. So it's a hot mess over here. I apologize for how chaotic this video is. I'm not even sure how I'm gonna put all of this together, but hopefully you guys can enjoy some of the craziness going on. If this can help someone out with handling geckos, that would make my life so happy. That's all I want from this video basically. So I'm going to go into it, and I'm going to show you guys how I did some of it. I'm mainly going to just show you Oakley because she's close to me and she's not high up, and she is the calmest gecko. The rules that I would say are most important when handling a gecko is to, one, never grab their tail. Their tails, they can drop. If it's an arboreal gecko, you never want to tug on any gecko's tail because they can most likely drop it, depending on what animal you're keeping. If it's a gecko, not a good idea. Some of them will regrow them back, some of them won't. For some of them, it's very traumatizing. Like if you were to do that to a leopard gecko and they drop their tail, it's really, really hard on them because that fat storage is so important for them. Whereas a crested gecko, it's not as big of a deal. However, they're never going to grow their tail back. So it's just something you don't want to do. You never want to grab their tail ever. Another thing that I would recommend, rule number 2, would be to not grab their head. I feel like that is common sense, but you never know. Like to someone that's new to keeping geckos, they may just have no clue and may just go in and try to grab their head, even though it seems so strange. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. Number 3 would be to not grasp your gecko. So it's very similar to when you're holding a snake. You should never grasp them and put pressure and restrain them so that way they can't move. That is extremely stressful. You're most likely going to end up with a gecko that's going to try to bite you if you do that. Or you may hurt your gecko, which would be the worst case scenario that you don't want to happen. So when you're holding a gecko, what I do is I usually just keep my hands open. Just keep your hand open the whole time. Let them do what they want to do. A lot of them are jumpy. So with crested geckos, you want to make sure you're using 2 hands. I would recommend that for any gecko just because they don't just sit still. Some of them will, but most of the time, especially if it's an arboreal gecko, they're going to like to jump. So it's best to just keep rotating and rotating like this. That way they can keep jumping and jumping, and you'll catch them and they're going to just fly off somewhere into the abyss and go missing, because that would be really stressful. So those are my rules basically when it comes to handling a gecko. What I do is I try to go up from behind or the side, and I try to scoop them. I try to bring them upward. A lot of the time they'll climb onto the glass if it's an arboreal gecko, and you can just scoop them up onto your hand, and then that is how I take them out. I wasn't able to show that with every single one of my geckos, and I wasn't able to get Chip out today because Chip is really high up and sleeps in cork bark. So I will just have to show you guys a cute clip of him at nighttime, because at night he comes out every single time and he just like looks like a king, and he's on top of his cork bark and it's adorable. So I will go ahead and show you guys that instead. I do hope that you guys enjoy seeing all of my geckos. I'm really sorry that this video did not go as planned, but again, I hope it helps someone, and thank you guys so much for being here and watching this video today. Alright guys, so filming this video has been a complete disaster. I basically went through all of my geckos. I thought it would be a good idea to show how I handle all of them. That way you guys can get an idea, because every gecko is going to behave differently. They all have their own personalities. However, I cannot film myself handling a gecko and hold a camera at the same time. And Chip did not want to come out, and I literally can't reach into the cork bark hide and try to get Chip out. Sunny, she was okay. I'll show her in the video. Citrus did not really want any part of anything today. Like, Citrus is always jumpy, so there's that fiasco. And then pretty much the same thing with Bamboo. So I'm gonna go over to Oakley and just talk about all of the basics with Oakley here, because she is the easiest and she's the most accessible because she is lower down. So basically, when you're about to handle a crested gecko, the one thing you don't want to do is go in for their face. They're not going to like that. You need to be respectful of them. What I usually do is I go in from behind. Do not ever grab their tail. Their tail, they can drop if they feel threatened, because predators would grab their tail in the wild. You don't want to do that, because it's instincts. If they drop their tail, it's not super traumatizing. They will get used to it. However, they will never grow a tail back. So it's best to just not do that. I usually go in from behind, and I try to scoop them, and I try to get them, see how she's going away? I scoop upward. That way she just goes onto my hand. That's literally my method with all of them. Some of them try to run and escape more, so it's a little bit more work, but I always just try to scoop from underneath and get them onto my hand. So I will try and show you that one more time. Again, and underneath, and scoop, and there we go. Oakley is not the type of gecko to just try and jump away. Sometimes she's a little bit more active, especially if you have a gecko out for a long time like these guys. They can overheat with your body temperature, so you don't want to keep them out for too long. And she is pooping on me. Thank you, Oakley. Yeah, you're so proud of yourself, aren't you? So another thing with handling, especially arboreal geckos, is that you want to make sure that you are using two hands. They do like to jump a lot, so you want to make sure you have another hand that you can keep rotating with and let them keep moving, rather than them just like jumping somewhere else in the distance into the abyss, because Sunny just did that on a plant over there. So yeah, you just want to be careful with these guys. Oakley is the most chill of all of mine. That is why I'm using her for this example. Yeah. Even though you poop on me, she's the only gecko that ever poops on me. And she's always so proud of it. So yeah, these are basically the fundamental like basics for handling a gecko. It's kind of more difficult in the beginning. You get used to it, you figure it out. It's just one of those things that you get better with practice, and you learn your geckos. Every gecko is going to react a little bit differently, but if you follow these guidelines, it should be really helpful, and it will help you to just be able to handle your gecko with the least amount of stress possible, because you don't want to be stressed out, because you don't want to be stressing your geckos out. If you're stressed, you're probably going to be stressing your gecko out as well. So yeah, it can be very easy, but it takes time and practice. So moving on up from Oakley's enclosure, this is, I think, maybe a 25-gallon enclosure. And it belongs to Bamboo, my baby crested gecko. So this one is a little bit more like jumpy, so I may need two hands for this, but I'm trying to film, so I can only use one. So I'm gonna try my best for this. First, I need to find where this little one is, because I have no clue right now. So this didn't take too much hunting. I literally just lifted this, and there's a gecko sleeping on the floor. So for this one, again, I like to just scoop from the side. And they always try to run away. I have so much stuff blocking. It's like so hard to show how I do this. If I can just inch the little one. All right, now Bamboo is over here. I'm just gonna inch her more towards me, or him. And the little baby just crawled on me. And this one's super jumpy, so I feel like I need 2 hands to handle this one properly. But basically with these guys, you just don't want to go in and pinch and grab them. That's really going to stress them out. They may drop their tail. You absolutely never want to grab their tail because they can drop their tail and they will not regrow that tail either. So yeah, gotta be respectful and careful with crested and gargoyle geckos. But that's pretty much how I would go in. Right now, this one's like, what is going on, and was just sleeping, and I disrupted their sleep. So I'm gonna leave Bamboo alone. But that's pretty much how you would handle a little baby crested gecko. These guys are never gonna just come to you. It's not gonna happen. You kind of just need to be gentle and go in for them. So I'm gonna put the lid back on. Can we see a little face? That's good enough. So cute. All right, we're gonna move on to this one, which usually Citrus is on the screen. And I don't know where Citrus is right now. Probably, oh wait, I see a butt, yeah. All right, so this is my female gargoyle gecko. Excuse the dirty paper towels, I need to clean them out. All of the dirt falls from this still, even though I like vacuumed all of it off. So the paper towels get dirty and there's a poop over there, so that's nice. And of course the suction cups that just like never stay where they're supposed to stay. That's fun. And great. So I'm gonna nudge this one so she can start going up. She's over here now. Hey, little one. Okay, well, you actually might just come to me. No. All right, well. So this is Citrus. Citrus doesn't really want to be held today. Hello, Citrus. So this is my female gargoyle gecko. She's not really feeling being held today, but she is so stunning. So she's actually kind of more difficult to hold. As you can see, this is one that just constantly keeps jumping. So as pretty as she is, it's best to just kind of enjoy her from afar. I don't really like handling her too much because it stresses her out. I do it just like literally when I have to clean the enclosure. That's about it. I just take her out so I can clean the enclosure and then put her back. So it works, but that is her. And handling her is not the most fun thing ever, but at least she's gorgeous. So moving on over from this enclosure is the one over here. This belongs to Sunny, my other gargoyle gecko. She's always so hard for me to find. So this is Sunny. She's actually like in shed. You can see like by the tip of her nose, that part looks different than the rest of her body. She's gonna be shedding soon. I could not show getting her out because that enclosure is like so high up and I'm just not tall enough. So I could not hold a camera and try to reach and get her out at the same time, unfortunately, but she is the best one with handling. Once I get her out, she usually just stays pretty still like this. So yeah, that is her. Sorry, I couldn't really show my approach with her. I literally do the same thing with all the geckos. I just like come up from behind and try to scoop them and just have them be supported on me. I don't really go in and just straight up grab them or just like, you know, like pinch them. And awesome. Totally messed up recording and I thought it was recording and it wasn't. I just put Sunny back and she's just chilling. She needs to shed. She's probably not in the best mood, so I don't want to stress her out, but there's Sunny. And this is the last enclosure of the arboreal geckos and it belongs to Chip. And I know I'm not going to be able to get Chip out because Chip is most likely either tucked into that cork bark or the one up there, and I simply can't reach like at all, and this enclosure is way too heavy to take down and it would be way too hard to like even try to get Chip out of that. So I'm not gonna be able to take Chip out today. Really sorry about that, guys, but yeah, there's a Chip in there somewhere. Goodness, look at Bamba basking and Chacho basking. Not really. Are you tired? What you doing? You cutie. All Alright, so I actually moved Mango, so now Janemba is under here where Mango used to be. And Mango is now over here. So this is now Mango's enclosure, and all of these guys are just stacked. So there's Peaches and Bloom is at the very top. I set this up yesterday, and the problem that I'm realizing now is that there's not much space up here because this enclosure is so tall. So literally to take her out, I have to pull this entire tank out. I really need to get an enclosure with front opening doors because this is way too difficult. But I'm gonna go ahead and take her out for you guys to see. So Mango is actually in her humid hide. She's tucked under the paper towel. So let's go find her. There she is. She's so cute. So I usually don't really like taking her out of this because I feel like it's stressful for her to like try and get her out, but I will try just to show you guys. This is kind of hard to do with like one hand. So I'm really sorry. I'm terrible at filming. I cannot do this and like handle geckos at the same time, which was the whole point of this video, but it's so difficult. So I'm really sorry. But here's Mango. She is so cute. And here's Kiwi, my leopard gecko. So I just woke him up and took him out so you guys could get a little quick view of him. He is pretty active too. He's not the easiest when it comes to handling. But that is my cute little Kiwi. Invincible. So again, thank you guys for watching this crazy, chaotic, hot mess of video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, or maybe even learned something that would be the best outcome for this. I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next video.